Good morning, Breakfast Clubbers. I'm here in Harrogate again this morning, and I'm taking a look at this place just behind me. It's Kitchen Koffee. I've seen good things online, I've heard good reviews, so I'm going to check them out. Let's go.
Morning.
Good morning, how are you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Yes, today I'm in Harrogate again. This time at Kitchen Koffee, a small artisanal cafe just outside the town centre, and I'm here to check out their full English breakfast. Aside from the veggie option, there are two full English offerings on the menu today, the Yorkshire Breakfast and the larger Yorkshire Slammer. You'll know all too well by now that I can't resist the bigger of the two, so I've gone for the Yorkshire Slammer, which comes with 2 bacon, 2 sausage, 2 fried eggs, spam, black pudding, mushrooms, tomatoes, beans, a hash brown and toast. Fried bread is available on request, so I've opted to add one in place of a slice of toast. Drinks are extra, so as usual, it's a pot of tea for me, priced at £2.60. I'm here just after opening time. It's quiet for now, but the owners and staff are gearing up for a busy Mother's Day weekend. As we chat about the channel, previous reviews, and all things breakfast, my plate arrives, delivered personally by the chef, so it's time to tuck in. Brilliant. Excellent, thank you. And this is a close and tight presentation with all the items stacked delicately in place strategically. You've got the bright red of the tomatoes, the earthy look of those mushrooms, the eggs glistening with the reflection of the windows catching the peak of the yolks, and the deep charcoal tone of the black pudding tying everything together. Score 10 out of 10. Let's start working our way around the plate then. First up is the spam. We've got 2 lightly fried medium thickness slices of spam, and judging from the shape, we'll guess it's the original Hormel branded trademark spam. They've taken on a gentle colouring from the fry, keeping that soft, tender bite you expect from a lighter cook. They make a nice, moist, meaty start to the breakfast with some excellent flavour. They've got instant classic cafe comfort to them too. Simple, salty, and instantly satisfying. Score 8 out of 10. Right, the spam setting the tone nicely. Let's move over to the eggs. We've got 2 fried eggs cut hot and fast in the pan, giving you those slightly bubbled whites, browned bottoms, and light, crispy edges that promise a proper fry-up bite. The whites are delicately soft with absolutely no sliminess, and the yolks sit there clearly runny, just waiting to be popped for that hit of hot, golden goodness. And once they go, they don't disappoint, spilling out into perfect little yolky pools that's ideal for dipping delights with the toast and fried bread. It's a simple pleasure, but one that never stops feeling special on a fry-up. Score 9 out of 10. And of course, once you've popped those yolks, you need something worthy of dipping. So let's talk toast. We've got a lightly toasted slice of seeded crust bloomer bread here, thick cut and carrying a very generous layer of great tasting butter that's melted beautifully into the surface. The crust brings a proper crisp, crunchy bite, and those seeds scattered across the top add just a little extra texture as you go. It pairs brilliantly with the runny egg yolks too, sturdy enough to scoop, soft enough to soak, and just an all-round satisfying slice of toast. Score 9 out of 10. But if toast is the warm-up act, fried bread is the main event. So let's get into it. Our fried bread this week is a slice of the same seeded bloomer used for the toast, giving a good enough fry to soak up a decent amount of oil and soften the centre while keeping the outside nicely crisp. The soak gives it a unique, satisfying texture and loads it with that full fry flavour that you expect from a proper fried slice. It doesn't quite reach the nostalgic heights of the classic plain sliced versions we often see, but it still holds its own, especially when you drag it through that rich egg yolk, where it really comes into its own as a fry-up essential. Score 7 out of 10. Moving over to something a little earthier now, the mushrooms. And we've got a good sized portion of what look to be white button mushrooms, sliced in half and given a light fry on the grill plate. They've taken on a lovely brown colouring that gives the edges a gentle crispiness, and they're already lightly seasoned, which gives them that welcome lift we always look for with a decent serving of mushrooms. The only drawback here is the bit of wateriness that's left in the middle of the plate, but honestly, it's hard to hold that against them. In terms of heat, texture, flavour, and overall enjoyment, these are right up there with some of the best we've had. Score 10 out of 10. And right alongside them, adding a burst of colour to the plate, are the tomatoes. We've got 4 halved pieces of fresh grilled tomato here, given a light cook with very little of the heavy charring you sometimes see. Like the mushrooms, there's a gentle pepper seasoning on top. Now whether that went on during the cook or after they hit the plate is hard to say, but either way, it's a welcome touch. Cutting into them, they're piping hot, extremely juicy, and give off a lovely burst of sweet, refreshing flavour that really lifts the palate. I often mention missing the other half of the single tomato, so no complaints here about getting both halves of two, though for my personal preference, it's edging towards tomato overload. And a slightly longer cook and a bit more char in colour wouldn't have gone amiss. Still, they're very enjoyable overall. Score 8 out of 10. Now then, it's the hash browns. We've got 2 hash browns on the plate, lightly golden with a bit of extra colour picked up from the grill plate. Inside, the shredded potato is nicely crumbly and still piping hot even at this stage, which is always a good sign. Flavour-wise, there isn't a huge amount going on beyond the expected starchiness, and they're a little on the dry side to start with, but that doesn't last long. They end up soaking up a fair amount of the watery residue left behind by the tomatoes and the mushrooms, and that actually turns into a bit of a bonus, giving them a softer bite and a touch more interest as you go. Score 7 out of 10. Now then, time to release the beans. And we've got a decent sized portion of beans served on the side in a ramekin, and straight away the sauce stands out, rich, sweet and nicely sticky. The beans themselves are soft, and flavour wise there's even a little hint of smokiness coming through. Whether that's genuinely there or just my taste buds playing tricks again is hard to say, but it's a welcome note all the same. Overall, these are a great set of beans with plenty of character and easily deserving of high marks. Score 9 out of 10. And with the beans out of the way, it's time to turn our attention to one of the heavy hitters, the black pudding. We've got 2 visibly tender medium thickness rounds of black pudding here, both glistening under the light and showing a generous amount of pork fat across the surface. Cutting in, they're soft and incredibly rich, giving that perfect sticky texture that melts in the mouth. Inside you get that deep burgundy colour and a great savoury flavour that hits exactly where good black pudding should. They're not the largest or the thickest pieces we've seen on the channel, but in terms of taste and texture, they're absolutely up there with some of the best. Score 10 out of 10. Next up, we've got the bacon. And we've got 2 good quality rashers of bacon here, both showing an excellent colour from the grill and looking noticeably thick and lean. The fat that is on them is crisped and coloured up beautifully, and as always, that little bit of fat ends up carrying a surprising amount of flavour. They've also avoided drying out thanks to that residual oil and water gathering at the bottom of the plate, which keeps the meat supple as you go. Flavour wise, you get that very welcome salty finish that rounds everything off nicely. Score 9 out of 10. And finally, before we talk numbers, let's give the sausages the attention they deserve. We've got 2 good sized sausages on the plate, each carrying a confident bit of colouring that shows they've had a proper attentive cook. The skins are on the thinner side, so they cut open cleanly without that tough snap you sometimes get. Inside, the filling is thick and dense with a really satisfying structure, firm enough to hold together, yet still carrying a gentle tenderness that gives way nicely as you bite in. That interior brings a clean, honest pork flavour that feels well seasoned without being flashy. The kind of sausage that quietly proves its quality. They round off the plate beautifully and make for a fitting finish to what is no doubt going to rank among the standout breakfasts when we tally everything up later on. Score 10 out of 10. Now then, let's talk value for money. When you weigh everything up, the fact this is an artisanal café, husband and wife run venue, set in an affluent town, serving a breakfast built on genuinely high quality ingredients and careful cooking, the price starts to make a lot of sense. The ingredient quality alone is on par with some of the best breakfasts we've had on the channel. The sort you'd fully expect to see in the posher farm shop cafes, where the overheads are far heavier and the prices usually creep a pound or 2 higher for the same plate. So at £12.80, this feels like a very fair ask for what you're getting, and in my view, it represents very strong value for money. Score 9 out of 10. Let's tally up all those points now then, and after chucking the scores into our number cruncher, Kitchen Koffee comes out with a total of 115 points out of a maximum of 130. And converting that into a percentage, today's final Breakfast Club score is 88.5%, putting them almost at the very top of our great rating bracket. And looking at the leaderboard now, that final score lands Kitchen Koffee a very well deserving 4th place in our top 10, which I'm sure you'll agree is no small feat. And that wraps up today's visit to Kitchen Koffee, a small, independent spot that's clearly putting a lot of heart into what they do. From the quality of the ingredients to the care in the cooking, this breakfast really shows what can happen when a place takes pride in every element on the plate. So if you're ever in Harrogate and fancy a proper fry-up in a relaxed, friendly setting, this one is absolutely worth seeking out. A huge thank you to the owners and staff for the warm welcome and for taking the time to chat. It's always a pleasure meeting the people behind these breakfasts, and it's been a cracking visit all round. So if you've enjoyed this video and you like what we're doing, the best way to support us is to like, share and subscribe. It's free to do and really helps the channel grow. And as always, may your bacon be sizzling, your fried bread golden and your yolks runny. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out one of our other reviews showing on screen right now. So that was my breakfast here at Kitchen Koffee this morning. What do you think of that one? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.